Hello, hello, and welcome back to another edition of the NCCR podcast. I'm the man behind the scene because the dynamic duo is back. And today we're going to step into stuff. There's heavenly stuff, earthly stuff. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to the hot one. She's like spice without the sauce, sauce without the spice, too hot, too tingly. Sometimes she's nice. And the other one, she might be a little bronzy from her vacay, but we couldn't keep her away. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kim and Amanda.
Hello.
Another stunning introduction.
Back together.
Welcome back.
The girl band is back together.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
How was your vacation?
It was good. I was saying, it's like we just jumped right back in.
Mhm.
We didn't get home till super late. And a little rude awakening with the rain welcome.
Yeah, well, you didn't have a lot of that. Well, even if you did where you were, it was nice and tropical,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It doesn't
Kim,
matter so much if it rains when it's 90 degrees out.
You wasn't here when she broke down, started crying a little bit. She had a little watery eyes.
Oh.
It's just from
Did you?
walking outside.
She like, oh,
I mean, I could
I'm
see
back at the
because
PNW.
you're back, yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's okay. It's nice to have you back.
thanks. It's good to be back.
So, ladies, Pastor Steve started talking about stuff.
Stuff.
Literally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of stuff talk.
Mhm.
yeah.
Do
So, what do you
you,
ladies think about that?
I mean, who doesn't have stuff, right?
I feel like I got a lot of it right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of stuff. Every time I
Yes.
move something or am rifling through the closet to look for something, I will sometimes just go down a rabbit hole of
Yeah.
getting rid of stuff.
I always have a pile
Uh-huh.
going of stuff to get rid of, but I'm convinced our garage is where stuff goes to die.
Which is why some of us can't park a car in our garage. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
So Steve was talking about, he started out by talking about, again, reviewing who are the people of God, who's really the winner here, right? And it's folks who depend on him for everything. Daily bread, which means exactly what it sounds like. Give me what I need for today. And if we have a surplus of things, then that's stuff. If we have more than a day or two, that's stuff. And there's all kinds of stuff. There's earthly stuff, and we all know what that is, and then there's heavenly stuff. And we're going to bounce around, I'm going to bounce around a lot, because to break down the difference between earthly treasure and heavenly treasure, earthly treasures wear out, break, get stolen, and ultimately disappoint. Sky stuff, or the heavenly treasure, includes acts of love, generosity, forgiveness, compassion, and obedience to God. Jesus invites us to invest in what lasts, the sky stuff, relationships with other folks, love, and God's purpose, and not accumulating more things. Because, truth be told, how many more things do we actually require?
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a roof over your head and food in your stomach, and I mean, I'm not saying to go, sell it all and go live in a hut somewhere, but you could.
Gosh, I was just thinking when you were starting off how the Israelites, when they were in the wilderness, and God would provide manna each day, and they were only to collect what they could eat for that day, and some of them would try to hoard it.
Yep.
Isn't that just the human way?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, does
so
anybody want that?
easy.
I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's up for grabs?
don't
Okay, I'll
need
take
it.
that. I don't need it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Right.
But I can't pass it by because
Right.
it's more stuff.
Yeah.
Can't beat that deal.
What's that?
You can't beat that
Oh,
deal.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so how much is enough, right? That's an age-old question as well. I mean, what do you really need? And I mean, I'm not going to answer that for anybody. I'm struggle with that myself, you know.
Mhm.
What I will say, the older I get, the less stuff I am trying to accumulate.
Yeah.
I used to walk through a store and I'd come home with a bag of something
Mm-hmm.
because maybe I'm going to use it someplace sometime.
Yeah.
And now I go to the store and I get, basic things and come home. So I am changing, but what a process it's been, right?
Yeah. I feel like it's so easy to become a collector of stuff, right? And the more stuff that you have, it's like it's almost like an addiction, like the more that you need and you just keep going and going. And then we get so protective of our stuff instead of realizing that, we've been blessed and it's on us to steward well and to bless others. And in doing so, we're really worshiping God in our actions of loving others and caring for his people and stewarding what he's given us.
Because if you just get it and then it's like an egg you're sitting on, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just never gonna come to anything, right? You're just gathering and putting it, basically in a mental pile or whatever, and you just hang out with it.
Mhm.
It doesn't serve you in any way, and if it doesn't serve you, probably you should think about getting rid of it.
Amanda, you was hitting right on the head while I was going to chime in. Is Jesus at this time was trying to reunite heaven and earth
Mhm.
with all his teachings, with everything that he's doing on the Sermon on the Mount, is reuniting heaven with earth. And I think everything that we desire, we chase after, or we really crave, is love, peace, safety, and security.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But all those things can lead to what we're talking about, a lot of stuff too.
Mhm.
Because I think about myself, right? I put this special key code on my doors. I got an alarm on my system. I have to check my batteries on my cameras, make
Right.
sure they're charged. It's just stuff that's consuming us. And what are we really doing? Are we doing the kingdom things about it?
Yeah.
Or we're collecting more stuff, and the stuff is now controlling us?
Yeah, Steve made that point as well. Like, at what point if the thing you think is good,
Yeah.
isn't good, but you've invested so much in it that it's more difficult to get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just what you're talking about. If you think the thing, like you're protecting the thing, that, and I get it. Again, human nature, we are completely fallible and sinful, and we fall into those routines and patterns. Again, it goes way back to how many years we've been doing this. The fear factor. What if something happens to my stuff?
Yep.
Well, that happens to a lot of people. Catastrophe,
Mhm.
befalls a lot of people, and you just kind of start over. But I suspect a lot of those folks start over with less.
Yeah.
And I
Well-
think when you're younger, you're starting to accumulate. You get your first house, and Steve Spear talked about that too. I mean, when we bought our house, we had a bed, a couch, a TV, and
Mhm.
limited food in our pantry because the house put us kind of in the poorhouse for a minute.
Yeah.
And then gradually you get stuff.
Yep.
And then pretty soon the house becomes full.
Mm-hmm.
Each room has something in it.
Mhm.
We don't use it, but it's furnished,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really easy to have good intentions,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're not staying connected to God, how easy you can veer so quickly with just the underlying heart issues, right? Like
Mhm.
it doesn't take much.
Right.
And if you're not really intentional about what you're bringing in, what you're buying, what you're surrounding yourself with, you can easily just accumulate. And you know, it I just think often like back to the disciples in the early church and the way they lived and how drastically different our lives look now.
Yeah.
And how they shared what they had and gave to those who needed. And
Up to the point, Amanda, where they were selling their property
yes,
just to give and to make
Yeah.
sure people had and they didn't go without
Right.
lacking. I wonder if we're willing to do that today.
I don't know, because I was reading about the rich young ruler, right? And he followed all the commandments, the 10 commandments or whatever, and he thought that he could earn his way
Mhm.
into heaven. And meanwhile, like Jesus comes along and was like, give up, sell everything you have and come follow me. And the guy couldn't
Just
do
couldn't
it.
Mhm.
And I'm like, would I do it if Jesus came to me and said, I need you to sell everything
Everything.
you have and follow me? Would I do it?
Mhm.
And that's
Right.
where I,
That is kind of the bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
that is the question. And yeah, I mean we do need to choose. I mean, right? We need to understand at least that we have the choice, right? We need to make sure that we're not feeding ourselves first.
yeah. And,
And-
what master are we serving?
And
Because
that
you
was
can't.
what I was getting ready
Yep.
to lead up to,
Me and you.
um, the storing up treasures on earth
Yeah.
Mhm.
versus those treasures in heaven.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, because then, if you're just worried about your stuff here, and it can be any number of things, right? But
Yep.
worry steals joy. Worry is not. You're suggesting that what consumes your thoughts about your stuff is more
Yeah.
important than what God tells you about your stuff.
Yeah, and you're not trusting in him, right? You're not trusting in his provision, in
Mhm.
his way, in his timing, in his will. You're just
Yeah.
trusting. Well, really, it's just saying that you love yourself more than anything else.
Yeah.
Because the old earth stuff wears out, but the heavenly stuff goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
It made me think about Bob Castile when he was in the booth, filming everything. And he said, you know what, Devendis? What I discovered? I said, what's that, Bob? He said, me and Bill Gates, we're going out the same way.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
All the wealth, him, Bezos, Elon,
Yep.
all the wealth that they have, they accumulated. When they pass on, none of that's going with them,
Right.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then I look at all the people that left legacies, the good legacy, right? Because they did things for other people,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and their name goes on. Versus the
Yes.
people that was money hungry, me. When they passed away, their name did too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For the
So
most part.
true.
Mhm. Mhm.
Ugh, so much to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can go on and on with this earth stuff. Well, I did make a note here that earth stuff closes heaven and sky stuff opens it.
Mm-hmm.
That closed hand and open hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well-
it goes back to, where your treasure is,
Yeah.
that's where your heart will be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wherever
Yeah.
you put,
Anything you
whatever
hold,
you treasure.
anything you hold too tight, has a tendency to die.
Mhm.
Right? You can't hug a kitty as tight as you want to.
Yeah.
Poor little thing.
Uh,
You made me think about that in a movie, The Couples Retreat. You got like,
Oh, yes. Yes.
but that's so true, man. And you can't get nothing because your hands are closed.
Yeah. You're just,
Yeah.
You're worshiping your things instead
It makes me think of this, Kim. You're holding on to something, and you're sinking, and Jesus is like, here, take my hand. But I got this here stuff.
Yeah, I got this
Here,
thing.
I know.
I know.
Just take my hand.
Mhm.
But I don't want to let this go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just take my hand.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think there's so many ways to visualize, like that's a great example. But I think if we start to assess our stuff, we'll probably find there's a lot of things we can give away, sell and give that money to somebody who needs it. I mean, any number of ways that we can have less.
And live very comfortable.
Yes.
And just be a blessing to others, right? Like, how can we serve those around us? What
Yep.
do people need that we have that we can either give or share
Mhm.
or, I don't know. I just think this could go in so many ways.
Well, I think, again, it's just the practice of starting that, right? You
Yeah.
just need to start. And again, it doesn't, like we've talked about many times, you don't have to do it all at once, because that's also an unknown. That's a thing that kind of messes with your head a little bit. Well, but I think if you just start and start small, doesn't have to be a big old thing, but you have to start the process.
You know, ladies, I was thinking as you was talking, it just hit me, right? At what point do we not be a Joseph
Mhm.
when he had the dream and stuff, and he's warned the Pharaoh, hey, store back this for this many years because something is coming down the line,
Mm-hmm.
and where you can, you have that you can live on when that hard time hit.
Yeah.
Where do we draw that line at?
Well, I think if that supersedes the giving to others and the compassion for others and love for others, if it's just taking care of me and only me and mine, that's problematic, right?
Yeah.
That is not being the best steward of what God's already given me, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's not mine to keep. I'm here to make use of it.
And I think it's like having the right heart posture, right? Being content where you are and with what you have, and having those open hands.
Mm-hmm.
So when others are around you, or you are feeling a nudge, or, whatever, you're able to do that.
Yeah.
But again, I just think it's so important. And I feel like I literally say this every single time, to stay connected and abiding in the Word, with God. Surround yourself with community so people can help hold you accountable, right?
Yeah.
Those closest to you are going to see you
Right.
hoarding or
and
not being generous.
understand what your surplus is too, right? I mean, you don't. It's easy, I think, when you start looking at how many of fill in the blank do I actually need.
Yeah.
Probably 2. So if I've got 10, it's probably too much.
As we talking, these things just kept coming in my mind, right? The song that we sing, and I think Madeline was singing it Sunday. You're the God that heals my disease.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't
Yes.
you the God that have the source
Yes.
of
everything I need.
everything I need?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
You're the
I
source
need.
of everything I
Yeah.
need, right?
Yeah.
Do we believe that,
Or just singing
or
that
just
song.
singing that song?
Yeah.
You know.
Going through the motions.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it helps too to always have a gracious heart, a heart of gratitude. And I just think that having that mindset is so important, because it makes you remember all that He's given you and where you've come from and what,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think that sometimes we forget it so easily when things have been hard and we've prayed and he's blessed us, and then we just like move on like that. Like, oh yeah, it's almost like we expect.
Yeah.
I know. I called my father-in-law when we purchased our house, and we both sat on the phone crying
Oh.
because his life was way harder than mine, and he was telling me how they had to put like newspaper in the
Mhm.
cracks of the walls to keep the air from coming
Mhm.
through, and just to be thankful for what you got and to be in the place to where you're at now,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
and not forgetting where you came from.
Exactly.
All right, Kim, you have a question you like
I
to?
do.
Because man, this is so good, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got two, and they kind of hold hands, I suppose. How do you stop worrying about not having enough? We already kind of touched on that, but also just more of a thoughtful thing. Recall a time when you knew God provided for you. And what did that feel like? When you were maybe not in a place where you can just go buy something willy-nilly at the store. Get in your car that's full of gas, that is insured, that you can drive to any store you want to and buy a thing.
oh man,
When were you in a point where you couldn't maybe, for whatever reason, do a thing like that? And did you see God in that? Did you see God in that anywhere?
oh man, oh man, I got one, but probably talk about it in the life group.
Yeah, I got a few of those.
Right?
A couple of them
Mhm.
involve my beloved mother-in-law, because she always used to say, blessed to be a blessing, and she was the walking epitome of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Miss you.
Yes.
Aw,
Wow.
Love that.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wrapped up today's show. But man, we can go on and on and on about this specific sermon. So if it touched you, it bless you, hit that like button, subscribe, share, and so everyone else can know about this great thing we do here on the corner of North Road and Filbert. This is the NCCR podcast, and we are out.